Visit our website, fanzonett.com, to make your purchase today.
WESN.
Hello there, and welcome to AM Prime on WESN Content Capital. I'm Keaton Shaw. Thanks for joining us. It's the 2nd of December 2024, and welcome to the month of December, actually, the final for the year of 2024. And with the year coming to an end, it also means Christmas is in the air, and the weekend, of course, across TNT, with all the sales that are happening and with the salaries hopefully hitting your account before the weekend began. It really had its festivities across TNT, a lot of traffic and, of course, a lot of shopping. But it's good to see people out. It's good to see families out. And, of course, it's good to see commerce taking place. That's part of it as well. A bit of a chill in the air this morning. It is a bit nippy out there, but as December hits, there's also another tinge of festivities in the air, and that's Carnival. In fact, last weekend, the National Carnival Commission held its official launch of Carnival 2025, 100 days before the events are due to hit peak. With that being said, the theme for Carnival 2025 is No Place Like Home. Indeed, there is no place like Trinidad and Tobago. Its people, its vibrancy, life we live, and all that we celebrate and enjoy together. But Carnival 2025 is being promised to be bigger and better than previously, and there are a couple additions to the festivities for 2025. And this morning, let's get into some of those details as I am joined by the chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Winston Gypsy Peters. Good morning, Mr. Peters. Could you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you clearly. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago and wherever else in the world we are heard.
Well, Mr. Peters, thanks for joining us so early morning. The theme, No Place Like Home 2025, of course, borrowed from Michael Tage's DNA. But
Yes.
why is this theme appropriate for celebrations next year?
Because Trinidad and Tobago is really the home of the type of carnival that we celebrate around the world. And wherever you go in the world, in a lot of countries in the world, you will find Trinidad and Tobago type carnival. But we want you to know that what you're seeing there is really extracts of what we have from Trinidad and Tobago. And Trinidad and Tobago, there is no place like home. There's no kind of carnival like it. When you see our carnival, then you have seen the carnival. Then you have seen what the real carnival is.
Trinidad and Tobago is setting the stage or setting the examples for the rest of the
We
world to
have
follow when it
not
comes to
setting.
and what carnival should be like.
We have set the stage because we have given the world, and we must not be coy about that. We have given the world this type of carnival that they have. Even though there are carnival in the world that in the world that are older than our carnival, but our carnival, the type of carnival that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, we have given the world that. We have given the world the calypso, the steel pan. I mean, we have given the world so much, the limbo, the chutney soca. The only place you find these things in abundance is right here, you know, because it belongs to us, and we have given the world that.
Indeed. Gypsy, what can we expect from Carnival 2025? I know that there have been promises that there would be things that are bigger and better. Could you speak to some of those things?
Well, yeah, we are trying our best to see how best we can make it more comfortable, because, you know, we have a congestion problem with Carnival. Because to be truthful and to be honest with you, our Carnival has outgrown our city, the city of Port of Spain. What Trinidad and Tobago need now is a dedicated place in Trinidad and Tobago for Carnival. You see, like how the Vatican have a place for for Catholicism, and they have a place for in Mecca and stuff for you know, we must have a dedicated place. I don't know how we're going to expand Port of Spain. I don't think that we can. So we would have to find ways. The planners, I'm not a planner. I'm just an administrator. I am not a planner at all of routes and what have you in terms of constructing them. But we have to find the planners of Trinidad and Tobago, if we believe, as I do, that Carnival is a significant cog in our economic wheel, we would have to find a way to make Carnival a little bit less congested, for the people who comes to our Carnival and for ourselves. And we are trying to work with what we have now, because that's either medium or long term. But what we have immediate here now, we are working with it to see how comfortable we can make it. And these are some of the inputs that we are putting into the whole planning, apart from the elaborate mass and whatever else we have that you will only find here. So we are doing a lot of work.
So is that something that has been discussed at length, the possibility of finding a home for Carnival?
Well, we have been discussing it at length, and a previous administration have been actually trying to implement it. But it never come to fruition. But yes, we are working on it. Yes, we talk about it, and we are trying to see how best we can.
Now, of course, you just mentioned how Carnival contributes to our economy. One of the delightful pieces of news that you shared at the launch of Carnival was Carnival 2024 generated US $93 million for our economy, and this figure has been verified by the Central Statistical Office. Is Carnival growing strength by strength since we've fully opened up since the COVID-19 pandemic, hybrid events, but are we seeing that growth? Are we seeing more participation?
Well, we are seeing it because, I mean, you're hearing the figures, you look at an ordinary person, not even really paying a lot of attention to the statistics, to the official statistics. If you are a regular citizen, a regular person, just an onlooker, you can look at it. When you look at Carnival today, the reason why people complaining now that Carnival in Port of Spain is not what it used to be, and let's take, for instance, on Juve and stuff, you are not seeing the same amount of people like you used to see. It is not that there are any less people in the country. What is happening is because we have the NCC have been working for years now on the regional carnivals, and we have been funding the regional carnivals. So actually people are staying in their region and making their carnival bigger. So Port of Spain, while Port of Spain is the epicenter, and that is one of the diversification that we are trying to get to ease the congestion in Port of Spain. So while you look at Port of Spain and you say, wow, you don't have as much people, it is not that there are any less people in Trinidad for Carnival. but they are all spread out because the regional carnivals have become very interested because we are funding those carnivals as well.
We're seeing greater participation there, of course. When you say regional gypsy, you
Well,
meant
the regional we
various
have 50, we
districts or
have
points
50,
across
52,
TNT.
we have 52 regional carnivals in Trinidad. Because remember, we have San Fernando, Port of Spain, Point Fountain, every nook and cranny in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, now I want to, you hear, I am deliberately excluding Tobago because I would like to see a total delinking of Trinidad Carnival. When it's Tobago Carnival, let the people from Trinidad go to Tobago. And when it's Trinidad Carnival, let the people from Tobago come to Trinidad. And that's inter-island tourism, inter-island economic activities that we are having in that respect. So if you hear me saying Trinidad Carnival, it is not for the country Trinidad and Tobago. We are talking about Carnival for the islands now. The island Tobago and the island Trinidad. So I am saying to you that with these regional carnivals, we have been putting money into it. So if you take, for instance, I am talking to you right now from Mayaro where I live, right?
Yes.
And if you would come to Juve in Mayaro now, you would never believe that it's the same place that you used to see 10 or 15 or 20 years ago. Because the carnival here has improved so much, especially on a Juve morning. So those are the things that we are working on. Those are the things that we are trying to make better in the country. And
Gypsy, from your perspective of chairman of the NCC, I don't know if you are in a position to tell us this morning any idea of what you hope the investment in Carnival 2025 would be.
What we hope the investment will be?
Yes, in the sense that how much do you think the NCC needs for Carnival 2025 based off of what we've seen for 2024 and your projections for 2020, expectations for 2025?
Carnival, enough money is not put into Carnival. And I say that without fear of contradiction. The government funds Carnival. The Carnival gives back to the country basically, 5, 10, 15 times what it's funded. But the thing about it is that in order to do what you want to do with Carnival, you must have upfront money. It's like any other business that you're going to get into. You must have upfront money to do that business. And Carnival is no different. So we get money from the government. I think this year we get the same thing we got last year, maybe $145 million or 150. Let's put it at $150 million. I am saying that it's not that. But $150 million, because we're going to ask for some more money somewhere along the line. But the fact remains is that is insufficient to fund Carnival the way that Carnival really should be funded. Because Carnival it's an international event that we have given to the world. And we are not benefiting from the internationalization of Carnival as we should be. And why we are not doing that is because our external intervention, while it is bearing fruit, we could do much better in promoting it. We should have our carnival in Las Vegas, having people, go to Las Vegas in a big way. Right now they want us to come to Ghana, which is a real big market. If we can get into that kind of market and have people from these places have a lot of money, And if we can have them come to our country, but in order to do that, we must go there, advertise our carnival, go there, have these people come to Trinidad and Tobago, look at what we are doing, and become more interested in it. They are interested already. But you know that when you look at visuals make you buy things. Visuals make you get involved in things. And carnival is no different. But we definitely don't have sufficient money. But having said that, we do work with what we have, and we have to continue working with what we have because we understand the economic situation now. We used to put more money into Carnival at one point in time, but that is when it had much, much, much more money in the economy. So we are working on it, and Carnival itself, if some of the money that is generated by Carnival itself is deliberately put aside by the government. Let's say, okay, we make $93 million US. Let's say, if the government would say, we're going to put aside 10 million or 30 million or 40 million of that to put back into Carnival, I mean, then we'll understand that it could work even better. Like take, for instance, Jamaica. Jamaica makes sure that they imbue their Carnival into their tourism budget, which is heaven knows how much hundreds of millions of dollars US that their tourism budget is, because that's what they live by.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we would have to live by one of these days as well. Because I make no apology for saying that that finite commodity that we have that is called gas and oil, one of these days, we are, you see people trying all kind of things in the world. They want to go green, they want to go yellow, they want to go whatever they want to go. And we are going to fall right into that, whether we have the oil or we don't have it, we are going to fall in that. And we always talk about diversification of the economy. And when we talk about diversification of the economy, it's always when we have an economic downturn. When we flourishing with the oil and gas money, everybody hunky-dory and we keep on going our way. As we have an economic downturn, we started to highlight all this sort of thing about, economic diversification and all of that. But it's when you have the money, you have to think about economic diversification, because you have to use the money that you have to diversify whatever you want to. Not when you don't have it. You're going to put yourself in a lot of expense to try to get that money from wherever you're going to get it from and have to pay it back. And if the diversifications that you're trying to get into doesn't work, you have all that money to pay back. I have a lot of noise going on right here. Just hold on 1 second for me.
No worries at all. In fact, this is something that Gypsy at the launch of Carnival last weekend did point out. The returns for Carnival 2024 and the potential it has to have as a key driver of Tobago's economy when such finite resources do run out. Gypsy, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here with you.
Excellent.
There was just a noise.
I want your opinion on this, because you did point this out last weekend as well, stating that all of this is free.
I pointed
of course, nothing is truly free. Somebody has to pay for it somewhere. But do you think that for some events, there should be some charge to patrons who are coming in to enjoy the festivities, given the cost and the rising cost and the returns we want from Carnival? Do you think that there should be some pay from patrons?
Well, patrons do pay, because all the carnivalistic activities that we have, the patrons that come in here do pay. That's how they come, and that's how we get those U.S. money. We can't charge people to come in. When you get to the airport, we charge you to come for Carnival. That is going to be, counterproductive to what we really want to achieve. So what we have to do is to make sure that more people come in here and they spend more of their money. And all the money they spend in Trinidad and Tobago stays here, It doesn't go anywhere. They don't take it back when they go in. It remains right here, and they're not even taking back our Trinidad and Tobago money unless they take it back as a souvenir. And nobody's going to take back hundreds of thousands of dollars in souvenirs, at one time, any one person. But they bring hundreds of thousands of dollars in their foreign currency wherever they come from. Sometimes, it is not ridiculous, but I try to go down to the lowest denominator, and I say that if
Heads and Fender guitars, just to name a few. Also, a wide assortment of music books, pan and accessories. At Simon's, we service what we sell. Trust the leader. Call us now at 625-6412 or visit us at 20 Board Street, Port of Spain.
Welcome back to AM Prime, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for that break, that cut, but we are back now. We're live, and of course, the chairman of the NCC, Winston Gypsy Peters, he was with us. Are you still with us, Mr. Peters? Could you hear me?
Yeah, I'm right here with you.
Yes, Mr. So I'm not going to keep you back much longer, but during the opening ceremony as well, you concluded by urging people to support local artisans, small businesses, and all carnival stakeholders, of course. So how are we pushing and promoting more promotion of local artisans, of local craft, of all that TNT has to offer locally?
Yes, we do. We are, through the National Carnival Commission, we are doing that, and we are urging people to come out with what they have. Come and bring out your stuff, because we have a lot of foreigners in the country. People want trinkets to take back the smallest. Sometimes we don't place emphasis on small things, but the smallest of things. I mean, when you travel around the world, you go to Mexico, you go to China. Well, just forget about China. China has the only thing that China don't make is I mean, by mechanical means is real people. They have everything that you want to have in China, but when you go to all these places, you find any little thing that you could buy when you're leaving. We are no different, and we must understand that carnival is important. A lot of the things that we can make, all these miniature costumes, we have plenty. We have a lot of courses in Trinidad and Tobago where we teach people to do all these things and make it. But for them to become entrepreneur, but that entrepreneurial spirit is lacking. We are not seeing the avenues. We are not seeing it. It's there, but we are not seeing it. And at the National Carnival Commission, we try to make it as profound as we can, so that people can really get into it.
Well, my final question to you is, what is your vision for Carnival 2025 and beyond? What are you really wanting to push? What are you really wanting to see from 2025 and beyond?
For 2025 and way beyond, long after my time, I would like to see the expansion of Carnival. I would like to see the regional carnivals become even more, even larger, even more elaborate. I would like to see our carnival in Trinidad and Tobago be funded even better, so that the National Carnival Commission and the government, now whichever government that is, I wish it is my government that would do it, but I would love to see that we put more into the carnival and understand that carnival today is not what it was in 1925. In 1925, they used to tell us that carnival belongs to the devil, and carnival is not a good thing, and pan and calypso and mass is against God. God don't like that. God give us those things. God give it to us, nobody else, and we must use it and understand that we have to use it to make a living. That is why He gave it to us. And we have to forget about this nonsense where they teach us that carnival is not a good thing and it ain't good and you mustn't go to that, and because it's not, God don't want that nonsense. That is stupidity. There is a place for everything, and our carnival is what God gave us. Apples don't grow in Trinidad, do they?
It's as far as I'm aware.
All right, pears don't grow in Trinidad. I have never seen a coconut tree growing in New York or Alaska. There's a reason for those things. God give, the very God that they're saying don't like carnival is the one who gave it to us. He gave us that creative spirit to create things that we would have something to live by. And that is what we are supposed to be doing, to encourage the people, as I am doing now, to get into the artistry of carnival and let us make money out of it. Because, right now we should be making money out of all the carnivals that they have in the world. We do, indirectly we do. Because our artist goes to these carnival and perform, and the money that they get comes right back into Trinidad and Tobago. So we have to understand all these things. These are things that people don't look into. So that's what I would like to see. I would like to see the expansion of our carnival.
Indeed. Well, Chairman Peters, thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning. Thank you for your time very early this morning. Of course, there would be lots more to talk about. as this journey, 100 days to Carnival 2025, is in full swing. So we will talk very soon again, but all the very best to you and the rest of the team at the NCC in working to make Carnival 2025 another success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and all the best to you and your family for the Christmas season as well, and to Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world wherever Christmas is celebrated. And let's look forward to Carnival the same way, maybe with even more anticipation that we look forward to Christmas. Because Christmas takes from us and Carnival gives to us.
Indeed. Well, we're here to end the interview. Thank you very much, Chairman. All the very best to you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, no place like home, the theme for Carnival 2025. Let's take a break here on AM Prime. Lots more to get into this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
My name is Dr. Stephen Carroll, the CEO at Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist, and we are committed to making good private healthcare affordable.
For all your medical needs, including dental, radiology, laparoscopy, behavioral and mental health, along with many other services, contact us for more information at 235-5479.
Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
This holiday season, bring the magic of Christmas home with WESN's Joy of Christmas. Relive timeless classics, from the laughter to the heartwarming moments that make the season unforgettable.
Hey, like the lamp, not the rat, like the lamp, not the rat!
Santa's coming to town! Santa! Oh my God!
Oh, baby.
Experience the joy of WESN special productions, crafted to bring you new stories and cherished memories. This year, let WESN bring the joy of Christmas to your home.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Catch the spirit, catch the joy.
Anchors away. May the force be with you.
Only on WESN, your content capital.
And of course, you can join WESN for Week Christmas. Started last night, of course, but we hope that you are having a content capital Christmas and that you enjoy all that WESN has to offer. As we continue with AM Prime this morning, we're focusing on another industry which is facing some challenges. We heard from the challenges that Carnival is facing, but the gains that it has given to Trinidad and Tobago and the potential it even has for more. Let's now get into an industry which seems to be facing but challenges from international operators locally in TNT to government bureaucracy hindering the process of being registered. The Scrap Iron Dealers Association held a protest last week and then a press conference, and it's not looking very good. So we're joined this morning by the president of the association, Mr. Alan Ferguson. Good morning, Mr. Ferguson.
Good morning to you and good morning to your viewers. It's a pleasure to be with you all here this morning.
Mr. Ferguson, thank you very much for joining us. Let me start with the protest last week in relation to international operators and what is happening in TNT in respect to them. Could you just please explain to us a bit more as per exactly the situation that is happening there?
Well, what will happen? Being being exporters exporting material to different countries, we will have to reach out to people outside of Trinidad and Tobago because we cannot go to the mill directly because of the bank don't fund us for us to do that kind of activities. So what we'll do, we'll reach out to some middle people, the middle people who have the finance that they could wait and exporting the material because you just have to give the time about 7 weeks to 6 weeks when you send out your material, and we will not have the fund for that. So we will bring in people to fund the material, and we will tell them, we will make arrangements for them to be exporters, not scrapyard dealers buying from different people in Trinidad and Tobago. We will make sure we agree on that. We also when we had a problem with them starting to open yards in 2013, we would have had a meeting in the Ministry of Trade, and they would agree for all of that. But what will happen is that, you see, in 2022 and behind that, it will have a license. It only had one license, and the license that we had to use for our scrapyard, it would be the same license they was getting to do the same export. But it wasn't operating with a yard, it was operating in our office to export the material. But time will have come and they will see they have a license, and they will start to open up scrap yards that it was not supposed to open up, because the law does not sometimes give them the up. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah. When we look at it, we see that we need to do something to save our industry from these foreign buyers, because let me tell you, this industry is not an industry like America or England or Canada or whatever big country. This is a small country. We cannot afford for people to come in here to take away the little small thing that we have in this small piece of Trinidad and Tobago from us. We can't allow that, and because we can't allow it, we decided that we had to stop them, and if we don't stop them, who will stop them? So we decided that we will start to protest, and we will do all the things necessary where the law give us to be able to stop this brutal attack. Because let me tell you something, when somebody come to the yard with something that's stolen, they doesn't know, they're taking it, and when they buy the stolen stuff, and something bad happened to the industry, or the government decided to shut down back the industry again, these people could leave and go home to their country or go to somewhere else. We had to remain in Trinidad and Tobago here and take all this pressure for thousands of people who will be out of work, and thousands of people who have to mind the train, because this is all they know. The people in the Beetham dumps are picked, they recycle. The people in Arima dump, the people in Claxon, they dump, and Point 14, and all over Trinidad, they go and pick up this material and work honestly when the day comes. All these people will be out of work when these people continue buying stolen stuff. Reporters keep coming to us from different agencies that people coming in and stolen this stuff, and these people, I ain't saying that Trinidadians not buying stolen stuff too, but the amount of stolen stuff we just get reported that these same people buying, we have to do something about it, because when you make a report nothing is being done to these people. So we have to stand strong as the association, because we the recognized body for the organization in Trinidad and Tobago, and we can't allow it to go down the drain.
At the protest, you said we are not waiting for the government or the police to help us. we will take back our industry. Does that suggest that reports have been made to the police, that you have met with officials from the government? But beyond that, the association,
No,
whatever that.
one of the things that I could tell you is that we report to the police sometimes some of these activities, but you have to understand that you could watch the police, they pack up with a lot of things to do, and we in Trinidad, we believe that we can stop crime too, we believe that we don't have an idea how to stop it, and I as a person who go out in Trinidad and Tobago and tell people to stay away from crime, I as one of the person who understand that, I saying is that if these people are allowing certain things to come, we could go out and protest, we could go and keep the pressure on them. And I am telling you is that we not doing nothing against the law. We sticking with the law. We saying is that we want to work with the government to make sure that this industry stay local. This industry is the only industry that poor people have still, This industry, a poor person could come off the street and go and pick up something honestly. Pick it up in the Ravi, make people just throw it down. Pick it up in the river, pick it up in the bush. People just do all kind of things in Trinidad. And we just go and pick it up. Our people just go and pick it up and bring it to our yards and make an honest day work that they could able to feed their family. Why you want this to be taken away from us and give to people who we can go in the country and open a scrapyard? I cannot go to India or China or one of these places and open a scrapyard because the law have a stop on me for doing something like that. Why it is that they could come into Trinidad and do what they want? Because we're a small country. No, I say into that, and I will keep my strength and my power as long as I live to stop that, because I mean to say this country is small. We cannot allow it. Cannot.
Ferguson, let me just clarify. It's not that these international operators are doing anything illegal, but rather you are suggesting that they're taking away from the industry.
Right. Let me explain something to you. In every situation in Trinidad, there's always a loophole, something where people could. You have laws, people have loophole that they could go in and do certain things. What they're doing is that because some Trinidadians don't understand what they're doing, the Trinidadians who have the license, they're buying the license from them. Now, what we're saying is that when you want to go and get a license, you have to go and get a relevant document. The police have to do a check on you. So this license is supposed to sell. You cannot sell something that because when you have to go and buy material now, when you buy this license, you have no check based on and when we have to go and get the license, they have to check us. These people buying license and opening up yards and buying the material. Let me tell you something. It's these material that is be buying. They don't know what is TSCT wire. They don't know what is petrotrain motor. They don't know what is manhole cover. All these things we getting ourselves in trouble with. When you look at when the people bring the material from licensing office before they shut down, who you think it went to? It went by a foreigner yard, and they buy it. They buy new things that look like beams. We wouldn't do that at all. Let me tell you something. When the shutdown happened and the mark bust, it's foreigners that had the copper in the containers in the port. You have to understand, we must be aware of all the things that are taking place in this industry. And we saying enough is enough. We cannot afford an next shutdown. Let me tell you something. We get shut down twice. In 10 years, in 10 years, twice we get shut down. We get shut down under the UNC government and under the PNM government. So we have to understand, if we do not work with the government to try to straighten out this industry. And we saying we want to fix our house. Let me tell you something. If you don't fix your house, you expect people to fix your house for you? We had to make up the bed. We had to do whatever necessary we had to do to make sure that we house is in a good shape. And we saying is that we industry, we have to fix it. I cannot be wait and nobody to fix this industry for us. We need to fix it ourselves. And that's the move we're making right now, to do what we have to do. Okay?
Well, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Paula Gopiskun, responded to what the association was protesting last week. And she said it is essentially the association having to focus on themselves to get registered. She says really focus on yourselves and focus on your members getting registered. You later on last week, there was a press conference that was held in stating that the association and its members are willing to become registered, but government bureaucracy is hindering the process. Please explain further as per what is the challenges associated with becoming registered in TNT.
That is also an unfortunate statement that she make. I think we having a meeting with her tomorrow, God's willing, and I think we will rectify all these issues. The thing about it is that we don't want to fight with the Ministry of Trade. Our fight is with the foreigners. That is why we didn't go by the Ministry of Trade and protest. We went by the foreigners' yard to protest because we understand the importance of the Ministry of Trade, our line ministry, to able to push this industry and work with us to make sure that this industry is in a better shape. What we saying is that the van collectors, not the scrapyard, the van collectors that go around Trinidad and Tobago, we saying is that why is the minister saying that it have for them to get registered? It have nothing in place for these van collectors to get registered at the moment. So we understand that, and we check out the system. We make sure that we send people to make sure that van collectors could register, and nothing is happening where that is concerned. That is not our issue. Our issue is the foreigners taking away the yard because the pressure the Trinidadians went through in the COVID, the shutdown, and different things. And we organization is an organization. The bank don't give us funds to run our organization. We have to take it from different sources that we could able to open up our yards and run our yards. And this business is a business that it takes a lot of cash because you have to be buying and doing a lot of things. We're trying our best to, because the industry regularized now, we're trying our best to make the bank system to work with them, to able for us now to try to go to the mills, and we could able to cut away the middlemen, and more foreign use dollars will come into Trinidad, because when we go directly to the mill, the money will come into Trinidad. You see, when the foreigners have it, the money not coming into Trinidad and all. All these things is things that we understand. We understand that the country is short of foreign exchange, and we decided that we want the foreign exchange to remain in Trinidad. Not if you're the outsider, you carry it back outside. You leave it outside and not bringing it out in Trinidad and Tobago. We saying that we understand what is the necessary things to fix this industry and to make the place to help the foreign exchange in Trinidad and Tobago, because we understand there's a shortage and all too. Why you will want other people to come and take your foreign exchange and you will allow the locals? So the thing is about it is that this is not something that in other countries that they're not doing, you know. Go and look at England law, and you will see that I cannot go and open up a scrapyard in England. Go and even right in Guyana, right here. Go and watch in Guyana. The amount of things you have to do to even to partner with somebody there, we can go and open up a scrapyard. What I'm trying to get to Trinidad and Tobago is that this is a small country. We cannot afford to allow our scrap material and our resources to go to other people. It's such a small industry. in Trinidad and Tobago, and we need to keep it right here. We can't afford to lose it. And this is what I championing, you know. I'm not championing that the foreigners don't have a place here, you know. They're not coming and spending money. They're not coming and spending money to open up yards. They're taking away yards from the locals. You have to understand, it's not money they're investing, you know. They're not investing no money. They don't see the setup already. They're not putting no nice in structure. They're not putting up no buildings and spending no set of money and things, you know. They're using the same thing what we have done already have to able to make the money and send it to and keep it outside of Trinidad and Tobago. I want Trinidad to understand that. It's not that we saying that they don't have a role to play. You have a role to play. You want to export the material that we buying from locals. If we decided to sell you and people selling you, you have a role to play, so you export it if you want. We have no problem with that, but do not open the scrap yards and take away our bread because we can't compete with them. When them buying something for $5, we can't pay the $5 because these are the people that we selling to. So we cannot compete with them because of the price that they just pay. So we cannot afford to do that. When they come and open a yard next door to me, and we selling them, and they paying me $5, and they paying the people $5. How I can't work with that. And that is the issue we facing. And people must understand that, and there's a lot. I can't take a whole program to tell you all the issues and all the problems. What I can tell you is that we will fight to keep our industry in Trinidad and Tobago. That's what we will do. Okay?
So, Mr. Ferguson, the Central Statistical Office valued the industry at $1.1 billion. This was just about a year ago. So does that suggest that the industry has recovered from previous shutdowns, from the COVID-19 pandemic as well, and the industry is growing? Is the industry a great contributor to the Trans-Tobago economy?
No, you see, right now this industry is not where you think it's looking like. I will explain something to you. That projected that they would have project in last year or whatever, or early this year, it will have be from the COVID, and you shut down the material that people wasn't exporting. You find people would have wrap up the export because of years that they win that export, and all the material would have be packed up in people's yard, and you find people would have push out all the material, and you find, remember, it had the COVID and it had the shutdown. When all these things come about, people had a lot of material, so you find this projection that they project, that is what we went on. The industry now is moving one today, one tomorrow. As much as it might be, you see it things is happening, is moving slow. This industry is an industry that it is deal with the volume, because sometimes it look like it have the money, but the money trickle down to even the poor people, even the poor. And that is why we're saying is that this industry is the only industry that poor people remain having, and that is why we can't afford to lose it. Okay? Because it had ice cream, it had sugar cake, it had plum that poor people used to sell and thing, you know. Now if you go, you see the packing by this big company and packing by different company. We can't afford for this industry to slip away from us. And because I am the leader, and I'm a leader that will fight for the right, I wouldn't give up at all in reference to this industry.
Well, we hope that the meeting tomorrow to be held with the Minister of Trade and Industry bears some fruit from all that was mentioned last week and even this morning. We do hope that these issues find some sort of resolution. Mr. Ferguson, thanks very much for joining us this morning just to share with us what is happening with the industry. Of course, can't speak to very many solutions until that meeting happens tomorrow with the Minister of Trade and Industry. So, of course, we await to hear what comes from that particular meeting. But all the very best to you, sir, and thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, So those are the issues that were highlighted by Mr. Ferguson in respect to the challenges associated with the industry currently as we speak. Nothing new in relation to getting registered except for van drivers not being licensed, and there is a bureaucracy associated there, but hopefully that is I know tomorrow. Interestingly enough, it is the international operators and the allegations that Mr. Ferguson made is very interesting, and I wait to hear what happens from this meeting tomorrow with the Minister of Trade and Industry. Hopefully they can be sorted out. But not much further to comment on. Very serious allegations, of course. And Mr. Ferguson, from what he said, suggests that there is evidence. So again, we await to hear tomorrow's outcome. Take a break on the program, and when return, lots more to get into. Stay with us.
SM Group International Limited, your solutions partner for the latest innovations, brands, and competent staff to meet your needs. We provide products and services in the following divisions: executive services, event rental and services, power and heavy equipment.
And I'm here to help you make sense. And I'm here to help you make sense of your dollars. Welcome to Dollars and Cents, the show that breaks down the financial world in ways that matter to you. No jargon, no confusion, just real conversations about money, your money. So join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on WESN for Dollars and Cents.
Transform your home with PCU Plus. From stylish furniture to the latest PCU Plus. From stylish furniture to the latest appliances, we have everything you need to create your perfect space. At PCU Plus, we offer fair prices and affordable financing options that are cheaper than hire purchase agreements. With convenient locations in San Fernando, Tobago, Arima, and our lifestyle showroom in Barataria, you're never far from the best deals. Visit PCU Plus today and discover why we're the top choice for quality furniture and appliances. PCU Plus. Quality you trust, prices you'll love. Visit one of our locations or find us online to start transforming your home today.
Simon's Musical Supplies Limited. We are the specialist in new and used musical instruments, carrying top brands like Yamaha, Pearl River pianos, vinyl and Sabian cymbals, Remo and Evans drumheads, and Fender guitars, just to name a few. Also a wide assortment of music books, pan and accessories. At Simon's, we service what we sell. Trust the leader. Call us now at 625-6412 or visit us at 20 Board Street, Port of Spain.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas, and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Do you need treatment for obesity or any related abdominal procedures? The community hospital now offers minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery done by an American-trained, board-certified surgeon with over 20 years' experience. Give us a call at 235-5479 for more information.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Welcome back to AM Prime, ladies and gentlemen. So last week, Dr. Shane Mortman joined us on the program to speak about his thoughts and his opinions, give an analysis as per the Salary Reviews Commission and reports that was put forward and laid in the Parliament. Since then, we've heard from the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, sharing his thoughts on it, and some may argue it's surprising given it's an election year. Others may say, why is it surprising at all? Why would you reject money? Nobody will reject money. But putting that aside for the moment, and it's a conversation we will be getting into, a piece of news that came out of his press conference last week, his post-cabinet media briefing, was that MP Fitzgerald Hines will soon be former MP Fitzgerald Hines. He is not running or contesting for the position of Member of Parliament for any seat, not just Laventille West. He's bowing out of electoral politics. Now, that does not suggest that he cannot be a senator, and he still could be a government minister in any future government that the People's National Movement forms. Let's get into that conversation this morning as I'm joined by Dr. Shane Mohammed once more. Good morning, Dr. Mohammed, and welcome back.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's an interesting period of time. There are going to be things that in the coming weeks, if we may get a lull between Christmas and New Year's, but I think the minute the season, ends on January 6th, I think there's a lot going to happen, not just in our local politics, but geopolitically. I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised. I also believe, I've just no doubt in my mind. I said this on another platform, I'll say it here again. One does just not get up one morning and decide, you know what, I've had enough. One said to me on a personal level that this thing is too sweet. I was like, what is? The power. The power that one wields as a minister of government. It's just so intoxicating. It literally aligns directly with the notion that power corrupts and power corrupts absolutely. And there's also the belief by John Public that when we talk about power corrupting absolutely, they believe that power corrupts, and the corruption that exists is the monetary corruption. The irony here is we're going to talk about salary increases. But even before that, the Westminster system that we are in, as you would know, is very ministerial heavy, very politically heavy. And if one does not have the right checks and balances constitutionally, it is very, very easy, a very, very thin gray line for the government or a minister to become authoritative or dictatorial, depending on who is their permanent secretary. So power corrupts, right? The other part of it is the perks that comes with being a minister, especially the Minister of National Security. You walk into a building, from the security guard to everybody else gets up to salute you. Uh, you have the blue lights. People know that you're existing. People know that your home is like the Prime Minister's. It's fortified. You are protected. You are the first, one of the first people to know about matters of national security, domestic, as the case may be. So it's not just simply deciding, well, I've done this for 30 years, I'm done. It doesn't work just like that. And as far as I am concerned, just the week before, Mr. Hines was drumming up all of the support of his constituents and his party groups, of which I believe he had 37 of them in his favor. And then, but the missing puzzle to all of this is that all of this was happening while the Prime Minister was out of the country. And then the Prime Minister comes into the country, and boom, Fitzgerald Hines is no longer part of the team. And as you rightfully say, doesn't mean that he may not be a minister, cannot be an ambassador of some sort. I mean, at Hines's level, those are the only options available to him, a senatorial appointment or a diplomatic posting, which he could probably say, you know what, I'll take that in my quote-unquote retirement. But the decision to no longer contest a seat isn't just one that you get up on a Monday morning and decide, okay, no. I've had the weekend to think about it.
Well, actually, the Prime Minister said he wasn't too surprised. He's known of Fitzgerald Hines' feeling for some time. He chuckled when a reporter at the post-cabinet media briefing asked him whether or not he had a hand in it. He said no, he did not have a hand in it. We can, of course, and we will have to take the Prime Minister's word at face value. But the smile on your face suggests otherwise.
I am not taking anything at any political leader's face value. It is politics, and the art of politics requires you to be able to be very manipulative, become an actor. You know that line, become an actor and do what you need to do. And for the Prime Minister to believe that us who know political science and know the practice and the arts of politics to literally say, I didn't have a hand in it. The irony weeks ago, and bro, you just came in and you just told a man, hey, take a back seat. Because the Prime Minister himself has been thinking about retiring for about two and a half years now. He's been indicating that 2025 is going to be, he's not going to be returning into active politics in 2025. But the irony of that and the strange part about it is, and the debacle that has happened with the elevation or anointment of Stuart Young as potential leader of the PNM, he may have to think twice about his retirement and where he wants the party to go and how I should say he intends to get Stuart Young into that role of political leader / Prime Minister.
We get to that point in a moment, but with respect to Fitzgerald Hines, you say you're not at all surprised. The country seemed to have some sort of. There was a frenzy when that video circulated of the PNM Women's League group meeting in Laventille West. But Fitzgerald Hines was actually going to be nominated. From all reports, he was the favorite pick on the part of the PNM Electoral Council for Laventille West, that party group in Laventille West. He got the overall pick. He was supposed to get the nod. So all of this has taken everyone by surprise. You said it's happened over a period of time. You don't just wake up one morning. But at the end of the day, as the Prime Minister said, this is a major loss. I mean, it's very conflicting from all the reports. That's what I'm quoting from what the Prime Minister. It's a loss in terms of the Ministry of National Security, or according to some people from constituents from Laventille West who were surveyed by one newspaper. He had a very unfavorable, most unfavorable. In fact, nobody said anything positive.
So we know that we have had the incident where he was kicked with the floodwater, There are members of the constituency. You're right. There's a section of the constituency that has not been happy with his representation for a period of time and has indicated such to the General Council. There are others that say that Mr. Hines is a very hardworking MP. He stays in the constituency office up until 9 p.m. On his constituency day. The constituency office facilitates different things such as after school classes and that sort of thing. That's all great. That's wonderful to hear. I'm not being condescending here. That is actually what is supposed to happen. But on the flip side, you have an entire area that is saying nothing. You're hearing nobody. It's literally crickets. I am saying that I'm not surprised because I believe the Prime Minister is on a mission to overhaul what currently exists and to overhaul the PNM because that's what the PNM does. And if any political party, and I'll say this specifically to the UNC, if the UNC somehow believes that the unfavorable standing by the current administration is going to lead to them becoming overconfident and choosing candidates that's lackluster, lacking in competence, devoid of talent and skill, and believe that they can go back into certain persons could be returned into specific seats, and well, we are going to sail into government. You need to think twice or hit your head the second time on the rock that you hit your head the first time on in 2020, because the PNM is a party that rejuvenates. The PNM has been the reason why they've existed since 1956 to now consistently and successfully is that they know how to conduct their business and they know how to manipulate a system. They know how to change. I mean, nobody.
Well, that was demonstrated between 2010 and 2015. We
Of
saw that
course,
happening.
of course, and not only that, we've seen a lot of things happen between 2015 to 2024 in by just the building of the headquarters, rebuilding the headquarters of Valley House. Let's not even get into the how, what, why, and who did that, right? But the thing is this: the PNM has the ability to rejuvenate, and when they are challenged and they're looking at something that they could possibly lose, they will do what they need to do to make it look good, and possibly put it in realign it to a winning streak, and I never underestimate them.
I don't think they can be underestimated, but as you said, this shows that the Prime Minister is making some effort towards probably bringing some sort of rejuvenation to the current cohort that makes up the Parliament on the side of the PNM. That being said, what other efforts on his part suggest that is actually happening? I mean, besides from Fitzgerald Hines' exit, what else do you see happening that suggests that?
Well, we do know somebody else is not there. So I understand. Oh, I would say this. I believe that the move of Imbert from acting prime minister also another indication of a forced retirement. The difference is it is Imbert. It is Colm Imbert. Nobody forces Colm Imbert to do something Colm Imbert doesn't want to do. And Colm Imbert is an institution within the party. Not the best politician from the perspective of the relationship with the people and how he approached Colm Imbert became the most arrogant, uncouth, unconventional. Everything that's negative in a personality, I saw that arising out of Imbert. And the minute he returned to power in 2015, that animal returned, whatever that animal is. I don't think I could find a word for it on air at the moment, but I'll think about a word for him. So the next time we speak, I'll get it for you. But Imbert is an animal that you can't force, and if you can't, because he wields a lot of power. He has been he's been around longer than a lot of people. and he's someone that I believe is trying, the Prime Minister is trying to retire as well. Whether Rowley will be successful on Imbert's in retirement is left to be seen. The start of it has already been. He's no longer acting Prime Minister. I suspect that Minister Paulo Gupi-Schoon may be taking on retirement and saying, okay, I've had enough, that's it. I see Minister Camille Robinson-Regis returning for screening. I expect, I don't know, we could wait and see, but I would think that Minister Amy Brown would be given a space as a member of Parliament again. Penelope Beckles, 1, 2, 3. I think those persons are some people that are persons that should stay. So I believe in this, right? I believe that, yes, every political party has to bring in the new. Every political party must be able to rejuvenate itself. And in that rejuvenation, though, you can't have a complete turning of the apple cart, upsetting of the apple cart. Why? Because whilst you've had ministers who were new, so for example, we've seen Shamfa Kojo come through the Senate, then become member of Parliament for Terence. He should be retired, if you ask me. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. The man is an imbecile. But the thing about it is certain members have come through the ranks of the party. Certain members have also gone through a learning process through the Senate. And they've graduated and now become ministers. And they've become senior ministers. So if you were to ask me about seniority now, Ministers Randall Mitchell, Shamfa Kojo, Marvin Gonzalez, who else exists out there that stands out in the house? Just okay, I'll say it, but I cringe. Nyan Gadsby Dolly.
Why do you cringe though? I'm curious to know because you mentioned you were about to say Renuka Sagram Singh Suklal, and then you went on to say Dr. Nyan Gadsby Dolly.
So Nyan Gadsby Dolly, because she's been able to rise from lower ranking in the hierarchy of the party and move up to deputy political leader, and she is seen by members of her constituency and seen by the party as having potential. I myself believe that the lady had a I believe that she's been able to be a transactional leader in that regard, as in terms of becoming a minister of Sagram Singh Suklal, as far as I see, the only thing she's missing is a mascot's uniform, and then her recent statements for Diwali for me was atrocious, disgusting, overconfident, and you could tell. We can read when someone is trying a little too hard to capture the attention of the hierarchy of the party to say, hey, if I don't win St. Augustine, I'm still relevant to come back into the Senate. So, so I'm saying all of this to say that is why the number of stalwarts within that may be returned back to the party could be diminished to 3 to 5, because there are those that are now existing who have, settled themselves into the new generation of the
But
side.
I was curious to know, sorry, is transformation truly transformation if the political leader also remains?
Okay, so here see the transformation, the political leader staying is something that may become necessary. Why may it become necessary? The Prime Minister wants a certain trajectory for the party, right? At the end of the day, He's the leader of the party. He has to make certain decisions. His legacy is one that he's been able to match, with the exception of George Chambers, with all other prime ministers that came out of Balize House. He's been able to secure his 2 terms as prime minister. He's been able to move the party from opposition into government, maintain government. That's a legacy when you line him up with his immediate predecessor and the prime ministers before, right? Well, Dr. Williams. He's indicated 7. I've given 40 years of service into politics, and I've done my due. I've ticked the boxes. I've created my legacy. Whatever that legacy is, he doesn't care, right? He's having open or commissioned it. That's a legacy for prime ministers of the PNM. And now he wants to see the party on a footing where the party is not seen as a black party, but the party is seen as a diverse party that represents all of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, maybe we should start shifting in 2024, 2025 from a black leader to one that is non-black, that shows a level of integration and harmony, diversification, and all of those things. He sees that person in Stuart Young. Others might say, well, Penny might be the better person. Somebody else might say, well, no, it's not a matter of black, but it's a matter of youthfulness, charisma, charm, hard work, blah, 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 blah. So let's go to Foster. Or if not Foster, you know what? Let's go to Amory. The Prime Minister is headstrong. Stuart is the man because Stuart has been in office of the Prime Minister. He's been his wingman. He's been doing all of the hard work of negotiating for us on an international level. He will say, you all don't know the kind of work that this man puts in the background when he has to get ready to negotiate for the Dragon Gas deal, whatever the case may be. If he really and truly sticks with that plan, that Stuart Young is to be the next political leader and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and the party is still kicking up a fuss, he has some pathways that he can make it happen. 1, he says, kill the story, I run again, tell my wife and family, let me run again. He runs again, but he makes up a slate of persons that the entire country could say, hey, wait a minute, this is more diverse than we thought. Then you see young, bright, brilliant people coming out. For example, coming out of Laventille West, right? Coming out from other places, coming out from Shogunas, especially the key marginal seats. And you rock back as a country and say, well, this looks good. And he says, I am going to lead this thing. And he leads it, and they win. He can resign the next day. He could be sworn in as Prime Minister for a 3rd time, and within a month or so, he can resign altogether his seat and everything. And then Stuart Young could come in. That's one pathway, right? The other pathway is he remains headstrong. He calls everybody into order. He gives the people who are showing that, okay, they will align to Stuart, and he gives them seats. He promised them ministerial portfolios. He steps out as a candidate, remains as political leader, puts Stuart as it's happened in Tobago with the PDP and Watson and Chavez and Augustine, and they run and they win again. Or he completely leaves and say, I'm done, it's for Stuart to do, and they don't win.
You don't get the impression that he's leaving, though.
I get the impression that he has to think about pathways to which how he wants to get this done. And in some instances, I do get the impression that he's leaving. When he is leaving is where it becomes technical. And one of the indications that he's leaving is that he's accepted the SRC report. And
that was
that's a clear indication, right?
Good retirement. Yes.
Correct. Dr. Rowley is a man, if you recall, a couple of years ago, he stood up in the parliament and he literally said, I want my money. I've worked hard for it. I want what is owed to me.
Every single dollar, yeah.
Correct, right? So he's not going, he recognizes that he's done a lot for the country as it pertains to him being prime minister and his years of service in the parliament. But you just said it. He wants what is due for him, and he doesn't want it after he retires. He wants it now, before he goes. Give me my lump sum. It's guaranteed. I don't want to know. Next thing, God forbid, in 3 years' time, he's dead and the money is not, or something, he's sick and the money is not there. So yeah, he wants his retirement ready. Every single public servant who makes 33 and a third and decides that they're going before their time, they start putting things in place 6 months to a year before. So the man is doing exactly that. So he also made it very clear that he does not care that his legacy is that he did this. So there's a lot of nuances and a lot of indications from his speech at the postcard that says he's getting ready to retire. But it's not just simply cut and dry like that.
Dr. Moore, we don't have much time left, but very quickly, because you were also pointing out earlier that this is something that the UNC needs to look at and pay attention closely to. But there's a rejuvenated party, as we saw between 2010 and 2015 on the part of the PNM in opposition. Does a rejuvenated party mean an automatic election victory or an easier path to an election victory?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. One, the socioeconomic conditions of Trinidad and Tobago at present is not favorable for the government. And the government doesn't seem to know exactly how they can become favorable. So they are going to try, they have between now and November 2025 to figure it out. If by the end of the first quarter, they realize, listen, we had a transit, they will change the people around, move people out, create a new slogan. By mid-year, it gives them the opportunity to do the mid-year review, allocate some funds from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, who knows, and put out some goodies for labor, for sure. Start paying back pay to public servants. Give away some goodies to young people, to young entrepreneurs, whatever the case may be. And they start changing faces. Laventille West is one, right? Who knows? It might be next in line. But the thing is, the UNC, there are 10 marginal seats. And the UNC has to the people who are advising the UNC has to be seasoned experts who understand how this works. Because by all indication, this country is going to go into an election potentially, especially in Trinidad, with 4 political parties. If not 4 political parties in all 39 seats, at least 3, which is the PNM, the UNC, the Patriotic Front. The NTA has indicated that they are going to possibly fight just 10 marginal seats, right? I'm not so concerned, and probably Gary's going to behave, and I could predict him. He's going to go on a rampage when I say this. And that's probably a problem for the NTA as well. But I'm not sure that the NTA is going to make the impact that they anticipate that they're making. However, while I don't believe that Michaela Pandey could win a seat, she seems to have a great following of young people young people who see her as a representation through her language of their vision. There's no policy there, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of philosophy, and you understand political philosophy can be a lot of utopianism, and I can't say the other word, but if not pragmatic, then it's BS, right? And that's what it is. So take, for example, if you look at the statement by Mrs. Prasad Bissessar on the illegal immigrants from Venezuela, Mrs. Prasad Bissessar was quite clear, especially the aftermath of what she said on the stage, because on stage there's only so much you can say. Get your house in order. Those of you who don't have your papers and you don't have your house in order, you will be sent home, right? When the media asked me about it, I said that there are gains to benefit from it for Mrs. Prasad Bissessar. However, there are certain questions that must be asked because sending people back is the end product of the entire policy/plan, right? So I asked whether they are part of they're committing criminal activity. So are they a threat to national security or domestic security? Are they a threat to family life? Are they a burden on the society and the economy? Are they contributing? Blah, 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 blah. That's the framework by which you ascertain who goes and who stays, right? And then Hines and Amory get up and they bash her and they say xenophobia. And even my colleague Derek Ramsey talked about this is xenophobia. No, it's not xenophobia. It's if you are not contributing to it positively to the economic growth and development of Trinidad and Tobago, and you are a burden, or you are a pest, or you are a nuisance, or you are a threat, then any first world country is going to say, go home, go back where you came from. That's just this is not a fight, this is not a being biased, this is not a being, this is, what's the word? This is not an attack on the Venezuelan population. We recognize why they are here. It's not that she doesn't. We recognize that, but there are things that there are gaps in the system that continue to, so I also said the plan cannot be one where you deport today and they're back in 2 days' time through a boat, right? So there are frameworks that need to be put in place. And then
Well, Dr. Moore, I'm sorry to interject. I'm so sorry we are over time.
Let me just finish this statement.
Go ahead.
Then a few days after, Michaela Pandey comes back and she said she talks about she makes a statement on this issue, but it offers no solutions. So therefore, the point is this: in a four-man race, especially in marginal seats, 500 votes to Michaela Pandey, or anything between 500 and 1,000 votes, and whatever Gary gets in the middle, can be detrimental to the UNC, unless they think that they're going to get and it's detrimental to the UNC because they will also take marginal votes, they will also take swing voters, and so therefore, in your 10 constituencies where it is marginal and critical, there is no margin of error, and therefore that's where they can't afford to be overconfident. Otherwise, we know what the result will be.
In the instance of Michaela Pandey, though, I think the appeal is the level of empathy to a lot of issues. But as you pointed out, it doesn't necessarily equate to a plan. So with a sense of direction,
you and I could feel empathy to a great deal about certain things. And if we don't have a plan in place, right? And somebody could form an NGO, and that NGO could be empathetic to a cause. But as long as there's not a plan or a projected plan in order to effect what your empathetic feeling is into a pragmatic perspective, you are going to get absolutely no corporate sponsorship.
Then
what?
Dr. Mohammed, we're going to have to end it there. I want to thank you for your time this morning and for joining us on the program once more. We'll give you a bit of a break.
No, please listen. You don't need to. You can give me a break on Christmas Day, but I'm available to all of you all.
He's speaking about his days as a lecturer working straight up until Christmas Eve.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it comes to the territory. So there's no need for a break.
All right, well, we thank you very much for that. So we'll, as you said, as you mentioned, it's pretty sure there's going to be a bumpy road in the weeks ahead. Might get a break for Christmas, but we look forward to that. Dr. Mo All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank Dr. Wood once more for joining us on the program. And with that, we ended this edition of AM Prime. Thank you to all the guests for joining us this morning. And of course, to my entire team in studio, Ryan Gomez-Wick and Malwood, Naomi McNish, of course, for producing the program. Well, welcome to the month of December, the final chapter for 2024. Where did it go? Time waits for no one. Boy, and time just decided this year we're going to break the speed limit, forget about demerit points. We're going to zoom past everyone. And boy, oh boy, did it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your day. Today's a good day to have a good day. I'm Keaton Shaw. We'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
WESN.
This holiday season, bring the magic of Christmas home with WESN's Joy of Christmas. Relive timeless classics from the laughter to the heartwarming moments that make the season unforgettable.
Hey, light the lamp, not the rat, light the lamp, not the rat!
Santa's coming to town! Santa! Oh my God!
Whoa!
Oh, baby.
Experience the joy of WESN special productions, crafted to bring you new stories and cherished memories. This year, let WESN bring the joy of Christmas to your home.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Catch the spirit, catch the joy.
Anchors away. May the force be with you.
Only on WESN, your content capital.